What's going on, guys? This is JT here. Welcome back to Diablo Immortal. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the current setup that I'm using on my Barbarian, all the gear essences that I'm currently using, also all the skills, and a breakdown of why I like the skills and also where I use the skills. Now, if you guys don't know, I am on Twitch every single day at twitch.tv/JTisAllBusiness. Constantly streaming in-game Diablo Immortal, also showing off some of the best free-to-play players in the game. So make sure to come check out the Twitch channel, no doubt. So first, we're going to go ahead and get into the skills. That way you guys know exactly what essences I use with the skills. Now, I'm not trying to say that this is the best setup for Barbarian in any way. This game has tons of different ways you can set up characters, right? This is just a setup that I'm currently going with and that I have been loving playing with. It's good for me in PvP. It also is very quick for Elder Rifts, and currently I'm farming a ton of Elder Rifts. So let's go ahead and get into the skills. So the main skill we're using is Frenzy. The reason why I'm using Frenzy mainly is because this is really good for challenge risks, especially when you get to the boss fight, because it allows you to do a ton of damage, right? Now, Lacerate is good if you need some sort of life drain to keep you alive. It also shields you. However, we're going with Frenzy right now, so we got Frenzy as our main attack. We're also using Sprint. Now, if you guys don't know what Sprint does, you need to check it out because it is beast mode, man. It makes you run 50% faster for 5 seconds, and that is absolutely amazing, especially if you pair it with Bottle Hope to get that additional quickness and also some extra damage. I like Sprint in pretty much everything in this game as a Barb. I mean, if you're in PvP, you can get away from any situation extremely fast. If you're in PvE, you can basically run past mobs and skip all the nonsense. If you go the wrong way on a level, it really helps out as well because you can sprint out of there and then get to the next group of mobs a lot quicker. Just Sprint overall, honestly, it's one of my favorite skills. I just love going fast everywhere I go. I don't like the slow walk, right? Like when I played Diablo 1, you slow walked everywhere, right? I'm not the type of person, like whenever I ran out of stamina in Diablo 2, I was always like, come on, man, let's go, baby. I just don't like walking in Diablo. So Sprint, one of my favorite skills. I love sprinting around everywhere I go. We also got Undying Rage. Now, this is not really all that necessary in PvE in most situations. However, I tend to like this skill quite a bit in PvE and PvP just because it does save your life quite a bit. Now, where my character's at right now, honestly, I'd probably be better off switching this skill out. But whenever I do get into PvP, this is definitely one of the best skills in PvP. One of the main reasons why I'm using this in PvP as well is because a lot of the time, while I'm on Twitch killing mobs, I'm reading the chat. And so this actually helps me save my life instead of dying and then reviving, right? Now, this is a very good skill, and it also is probably going to get nerfed in the future because this skill actually activates on its own, which is kind of crazy. It's like a passive, right? So if you use Undying Rage, you can also activate it yourself, or you can wait until you're about to die, and instead of dying, this skill automatically procs, saves your life, and then enters you in a rage for 4.5 seconds that prevents you from dying and causes all attacks to you to heal yourself for 30%. Which is honestly pretty freaking beast mode, right? Especially in PvP. Normally what I like to do, since I have so many cheat deaths and other ways of avoiding death, such as Phoenix Ashes, my gem, also cheat death from my Gladiator spec, what I'll do is right when I go into the middle of a bunch of guys in PvP, I'll pop Undying Rage right away. The cooldown's 30 seconds. That way I don't take damage for the first 5 seconds, and then I can dish out a ton of damage. Not only that, we then have the Phoenix Ashes and also the cheat death still alive. So normally we could survive an additional 25 seconds, right? So Undying Rage is back up again. We also have Whirlwind. Everybody knows what Whirlwind is. It's basically like a big gathering, gathers up all the mobs, dishes out damage to pretty much everything around. You want to be in the center. Whirlwind in this game is not, it doesn't, like in some, I remember in, I believe, was it Diablo 2? I can't remember. I think it might have been Diablo 2 where if you whirlwinded a group of mobs, it only damaged maybe 6 enemies at once. Whereas, I don't remember if that's true. I know there's a limit on a game that I played with Whirlwind. I can't remember if it's Diablo 2 or not 100% because I didn't really play Barbs all that much. I was mainly a sorceress. However, I do know that whenever you whirlwind in this game, it damages everything that it hits, right? So you want to gather up everything as close as possible and basically smash away with whirlwind. So we also got Wrath of Berserker. Now this is just a complete buff. What this does is it enters you into a Berserker Rage, increases your attack speed by 50%, and also increases your movement speed by 20%. So this lasts for 6 seconds, right? Absolutely beast mode. I absolutely love this skill. I don't think it's mandatory in any way for a lot of things, but this pops off with Bottled Hope as well, so I would say this is very good for PvP. It's also good for killing bosses in challenge rifts as a barbarian, because whenever you smash Wrath of Berserker, you're attacking a lot quicker, and also you have a greater movement speed to get away of whatever the boss throws at you, right? So now let's go ahead and get into the inheritances that I have from my my equipment. So this is the essences that I'm currently using. We're only going to show off the essences. So what we have here is this. Now, if you guys don't know about essences, actually, let me just quickly show you. If you don't know about essences, the way legendary items work is any legendary item you get can then be extracted, right? Whenever you extract the item as a legendary, you can then place that item's essence on any other legendary that you find of that piece of armor, right? So let's say we found this Spirit Breaker helm that's at the very top, right? It says sprint leaves tornadoes in your path that deal 2,000 damage to any enemies, or what does it say? To any enemies they strike, right? All right, so if we find a helm that is Berserker Sanity, let's say it's the third one down, we can then put the essence Spirit Breaker on that helm by simply inheriting the skill, right? So that is what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and get into each inherit that we actually have on all of our gear. So we have Lasting Hate. We have Wrath of Berserker duration increased by 30%. Now we also have Wrath of Berserker cooldown decreased by 10%. So wait, what did I go with my inheritance on this? Oh, Wrath of Berserker increasing by 30%. All right, yeah, normally I don't use this, so I was like, wait, what? I did this specifically for challenge rifts. Actually, my favorite one to go with is Berserker Sanity, and this is absolutely beast mode for PvP. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and change that now before I forget. And we're going to go with Berserker Sanity, because what this does is when you enter Wrath of Berserker, it also dispels effects which cause you lost control of your character. So let's say you are running a challenge rift and you got jailed, right? You enter Wrath of Berserker, you get out of that jailing effect, and then you start smashing mobs. Let's say you're in PvP and you get feared, right? Or you get stun locked. You enter Wrath of Berserker, boom, instantly you have full control in your character, and then you can start smashing, right? So I really love Berserker Sanity, no doubt about that. We also got the Gathering for the chest piece. The Gathering is, in my opinion, by far the best thing possible, man. It pulls all enemies together, which is beast mode, right? So whenever you whirlwind, so the main thing I like this for is challenge rifts, or anything about this game, anywhere you are, no matter if you're an open world, challenge rifts, regular rifts, wherever. Whenever you whirlwind, you have a relatively wide range, right? So what this does is whenever it hits a mob, it pulls you into you, right? So basically allows you to damage tons of different things at a time. What I really like this for in challenge rifts is whenever you're whirlwinding around and you see some range thrown at you, like let's say a skeleton archer or something like that, you whirlwind next to the mobs you're fighting, kind of get close to that archer, make sure you hit it. It then pulls that archer into you. This is also very useful for disrupting targets. So let's say you're fighting a challenge rift and you see a target charging up about to hit you. You quickly whirlwind, it then pulls it in closer and interrupts their action, which is very nice. So we got the Cyclone for the shoulders. We got whirlwind damage increased by 10%. Whirlwind energy consumed 10% slower. So we are using whirlwind damage increased by 10%. Obvious reasons it increases our whirlwind damage. However, on my pants, there's nothing that I use in this current spec that helps as far as pants go, right? So we just have something random on here. A leap absorbs a shield. Honestly, it doesn't help in any way. So we got the best weapon in the game, in my opinion, the Storm, or the Eager Maelstrom. A lot of people have trouble getting this weapon. If you have trouble getting this weapon, the best way to get it is by gambling from the Gambling Merchant, which requires gold. Gold's really easy accessible in this game. You can run vaults. You can also just get gold pretty much anywhere. There is a treasure hunter spec as well to help you get gold. Gamble those items if you're struggling getting this, because eventually you will drop it. So we got Stormbringer on this weapon, which is whirlwind radius increased, but whirlwind movement speed is decreased, which is okay. This literally takes your whirlwind from being like a small baby whirlwind to a gigantic whirlwind, and that helps a lot when it comes to pulling mobs in, right? So basically these two kind of synergize together. So you got the gathering, which pulls all enemies in, and then you also have the Stormbringer, which makes the whirlwind radius a lot bigger, right? Very nice. So then we also got the Broken Soul, which is cruelty. We got Wrath of Berserker now increases critical hit chance instead of attack speed. Now, do I think attack speed is good in situations? Yes, I do. Especially if you're running with the Crusader that gives you automatical crit hit at all times with his flag. You then would have Wrath of Berserker would relatively be useless if it's increasing your crit rate, right? So, but if you're running solo or if you're doing PvP, I would say this is absolutely a must because crit rate means double damage, right? So absolutely beast mode. Now I'll show you where you guys can test that skill at, and that is right here. So we'll go ahead and get into our attributes if you guys wanted to know. We got 11,300 damage, 129,000 life, and you will see right here. We got critical hit chance 13%, right? So whenever we pop this Berserker's Rage, we're going to go ahead and hit our skill 3, make ourselves big and buff. Now we look like Bajira. So let's go ahead and get back into our stats. You will then notice that our crit rate is 56%. So when we pop that Wrath of Berserker, it also increases our movement speed and then makes that crit hit chance go up to 56%. So yeah, that's what I wanted to go over, guys. Just the current setup skills and also the essences that I had on my gear. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to come check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/JTisAllBusiness. Peace out, fellas.